It's 2003, and Mary Dorr, a heroin addict, has hit rock bottom. Mary's about to inject heroin into her arm, and she's 5 months pregnant. She knows her heroin addiction puts her unborn child at risk, but after years of shooting up, Mary just can't quit. Mary pats her pregnant belly and plunges the hypodermic needle deep into her vein. That was 6 years ago. She's fortunate. Today, that baby is a healthy 5-year-old girl. As for Mary, she's pregnant again and trying to stay clean. She last used the drug just 2 months ago. This afternoon, she and her boyfriend, Brandon Kennard, also a recovering heroin addict, are visiting some of their old friends at a nearby cemetery.
Probably in the past 6 years, I've had at least 6 really good close friends, but I've known about probably 12 or 13 people that have overdosed from heroin and died. There's Ruckman's. Wonder if that's Mike.
Oh no, that's creepy.
In high school, she was a role model. Everyone wanted to be like her. Good student, cheerleader, the popular kid. But beneath that facade, Mary was hiding something, a physical craving that overpowered any success she had in school or her social life. A craving that was out of control.
Your desire for the drug takes over everything, even the will to live, you know. At times in your addiction, there's points where you almost wish you were dead.
Brandon and Mary are lucky to be alive. They have struggled with heroin for about 8 years.
Tell you the truth, when someone would die, this is how sick it is. You know, you'd feel for them, you know, and you'd be like, you know, that sucks, you know, and you'd mourn, you know. But honestly, the first thing that popped in my head is, where did they get that dope? I want that dope, because if that's good enough to kill this dude, I wanted it because that's where I wanted to be. I wanted to get that high.
It's 1994, and Jennifer DeVore is about to take her drug addiction one step too far. Jennifer clogs her veins, shooting up a combination of heroin, cocaine, and Valium. A friend recognizes the danger and races her to the emergency room. Surgeons open her veins and clear an infection that's spreading through her body. They save Jennifer's life. That was 16 years ago. Today, Jennifer takes methadone, a legal doctor-prescribed medicine. Methadone acts like a weaker version of heroin, satisfying the brain's cravings without the high. But methadone is just as hard to kick as heroin. This afternoon, she's driving downtown to her treatment center to take the next step toward weaning herself off methadone for good.
Heroin actually made me feel happy in some ways and just numb. You feel as if anything could go on and you'd be like happy with it. You know, your room's on fire, oh, that's okay. You know, I feel good.
At the clinic, a drug counselor weighs her options. She knows Jennifer's making progress, but if she's not ready for the drop in dosage, the 39-year-old could fall behind in her recovery and even relapse. Jennifer used heroin for 15 years, and even though she quit 6 years ago, her brain has still not recovered. Over the course of her heroin use, Jennifer tampered with her brain chemistry so many times that her brain considers her altered state to be normal. Put simply, Jennifer's brain will always crave heroin.
Decrease 10 milligrams.
The counselor reaches a decision. She's happy with Jennifer's progress and lets her reduce her dosage by 10 milligrams. moving her one step closer to recovery.
After all the work I did, if I stopped going and then I ended up using again, that's just like, you know, all that work.
Most people know Terry McDonald as the elementary school art teacher who was caught using heroin in class. But tonight, Terry's headed downtown to kickstart a new career as a singer-songwriter. He's got a gig. Later in the night, Terry, who sings under the name George Terry, takes the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. George Terry! Hey, friends, what's up?
I feel blessed that there are people that are helping me, that believe that I can recover.
I've been a while with the punks and the hippie chicks.
Open mics are so wild. It was one of those better nights.
While Terry comes off a natural high, another recovering user in Ohio struggles to stay clean for her daughter.
Is that your princess? Oh, and it's got a belly, a circle for the belly. What is that for? That's for me because she's pregnant, isn't she? Like mommy.
This morning, recovering addict Mary Dorr is getting her 5-year-old daughter Riley ready for preschool.
You don't want to give the tooth fairy tooths with cavities in them, do ya? You want them to be all pearly white. Okay? So brush your teeth. Even though my life's not like where I imagined it at this point, it's okay because I do this is what I love doing, is taking care of her, and there's so many things that I've done to hurt them. And I try as hard as I can to make amends with them.
Mary has recently made a difficult decision. When her next child is born, she's going to put the baby up for adoption.
Some of the other parents look at me differently, but that's all right. That's something I've accepted because not everybody understands that. You know, not everybody understands where I've come from and what I've been through, and that's okay. They don't have to. It's my story.
Next, a recovering user in North Carolina vows to put his addiction behind him. Terry McDonald returns home after a successful gig. But Terry's music career hasn't taken off, and his police record as a former addict dogs him in most job interviews. To make ends meet, he's resorted to selling his paintings and working odd jobs. After a long night, he sits down to practice for his next show.
I lost my ID card, now I don't know who I am.
It's true, you can get help, and you can change your life. You can begin to change your life, but you have to do it yourself.
I'm not naive, you should just listen. You should just listen. About to get in tune.
Terry has been clean for almost 2 years, but reminders of his addiction will stay with him forever. And the epidemic's getting worse. The cartels have begun trafficking a high-purity, snortable form of the drug. With a new brand comes a new untapped market. In the past, potential users steered clear of heroin because of the danger and stigma of hypodermic needles. Now, young people can buy a hit of the drug for $2 and snort it between classes. 1 in 4 high school seniors say they can easily get heroin anytime they want it. Whether snorting or injecting heroin, it may only take a user one high to get hooked for life. From coast to coast, in every state. The heroin epidemic can strike any time and to anyone. Your neighbor, your friend, your son, your daughter. Because anyone can be an addict in the heroin nation.